Hey, I think that, one pretty intuitively simple answer to this is that uh, moral character can't be given or taken away from you, whereas external things, possessions, or, or fame, or your reputation in the eyes of others, these can be given by others and can be taken away. But moral character really it um, it runs deep. It runs to the deepest fissures of subjectivity. Of even so, when you're alone, uh, this is what stays with you, right? This is what accompanies you at all times. Um, I mean, if you're happy and you like yourself, you feel that you're a if you're a genuine person, and you just, I mean, why would you? It doesn't matter if you lose everything, you still be a happy person. I mean, in that sense, if you could maintain that kind of disposition, uh, what else would you need, really? So I think that that's one reason why moral character has been connected with that, something that can't be really taken away. Um, it also, like logic or or learning to be a good salesman or something. These are things that you can learn, but you know, being a morally good person is not something that you set to work out at doing necessarily. I mean, at least once you are a morally good person, it just becomes such a part of you. And I don't see it as a drive or an instinctual or unconscious phenomena. I see it as fundamentally being, I mean, it could be all of those things, but fundamentally it is what it manifests as for the subject is subjectivity, is personality and character. Um, the Greeks had two words for time, at least two words for time. One was chronos, which was the succession of events, one after the other, and the other one was kairos, which was when, with a K, is when time, the qualitative sense of time, when, so to speak, time would come knocking at your door, when fate would come, and you'd have to seize time, you'd have to seize the moment and make a decision, and you know, seize your destiny and choose the you know the your fate, perhaps for your whole community, for your nation, for the world, for your just yourself. Um, you know, you could respond or not respond, but either way, it was going to change your life, and that was part of the determinative, what the real character of the hero, the Greek hero at least. So I think that the moral dilemma you posed, um, the ability to take up and use the deepest, most enduring part of one's being, which is the moral character, uh, and the sense of destiny, and seizing that, adds a pretty um, powerful dimension to human subjectivity and consciousness or life. Um, and I say that, I guess saying that moral character is, the most enduring part of you, the deepest, part of you that no one can take away or give, can't learn. Um, it's sort of something that unfolds, and you feel it's right, and you either, you let yourself be taken by, you give yourself wholly into it, and it becomes you in the moment, or you resist, and you resort maybe to some technique, like, okay, well, let's do pros and cons. Let's list them down. I mean, anyone can do that. Anyone can learn how to list pros and cons. It's the intuitive initial feeling of seizing the right, the seizing justice for the sake of justice itself, that seems to be intuitive here. Um, and I say that it's the most enduring because when you hear about aging, you hear about time comes and it takes the person's body. It wastes the body away, and the mental advantages gradually waste away. But the moral character of someone, it remains inaccessible to time in that sense, in the sense of aging at least. So it seems to be this a more indestructible, you might say, part of the human being, which goes along with it being not being able to be something that can be given or taken away. You can work out, get a you can build your body, you can read books all day long and learn logic and learn um, just rote memorize or what have you. But in time, those will gradually wear away, and a person's moral character is tied to their body and their intellect, and be I guess and being able to do all kinds of things. But it's this ability to be in in the flow of life, I guess, which is something that you can't get. I mean, it's just not attainable in any other way besides just just I guess I don't know, it's natural or uh, the the wisdom of a lifetime of experience or what. Um, so I suppose that's it. I guess that's what I wanted to say was that as time takes everything, but I never hear of someone who has gotten older and they've retained and their body is still in okay shape to get around and they're healthy in their joints are okay and their muscles are still strong and their intellect is still good, but oh but you never hear anyone say that age has deteriorated their moral character. I mean, that's never the independent, that's never the variable that by itself drops. You hear about, oh, they're still in good shape, they're still physically able, but they're not all there in the head. Or you hear that they're not all there in the head, or that they still have it in their head, but they're wasting away. Physically they can't get around. One of those two, or both, unfortunately, deteriorate as we get older. But you never hear that really, specifically at least, especially, I mean, the moral character or something. It seems to be something that runs, as I said, to the core of the subject. It's not something that can be transferred as like a technique to learning logic or exercise from one person to another. I think that might be one reason why it's so important to people. Um, yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say. And I understand, Fred, but the purity thing. Touch on that, but don't forget that you know starting from, or all the way back from the tradition of thought and especially in philosophy, the ideas were seen as the pure, things that were non-material, that were you know clear and distinct ideas. These clear as in pure ideas. It was and Kant was so well respected for writing ethics on these reflective universal principles of ethics and reflection which were involved. So I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends where you're coming from. From your point of view, it seems like you have a sort of uh, a bit of a hostility kind of towards people uh, who are against rationality. But historically, I guess it's been that rationality was the pure thing, and it was the body that was going to sully, the pure reason. So it really depends on where you're coming from here. But I think that I would rather have a friend who didn't base judgments on contingencies and just seize the moment to do the right thing than to have to. Oh, I don't know if I want to save your life. I have to think it over. I mean, for some things that are contingent and I mean material, for lack of a better word, but to have the intuitive sense that's sort of indestructible compared to the ability to reflect on something and have some contingent variable decide make the decision for you. So depends where you're coming from, I guess. Thanks.